The Polar Prince is the support vessel for the Ocean Gate expedition and is on scene and supporting the rescue mission as directed by the U.S. Coast Guard and Ocean Gate. Today is National Indigenous Peoples Day in Canada. Chief Joe, we acknowledge this day for you, the Mi'kmaq First Nation, and all First Peoples in Newfoundland and Labrador and in Canada. On behalf of myself, Chief Joe, and everyone at Mi'kmaq Horizon Maritime Services and Horizon Maritime Services, I want to say first that our thoughts and focus remain with the crew of the Titan and their families. We wish to thank everyone involved in this rescue mission, especially the U.S. and Canadian Coast Guards, the organizations that have made their marine assets available, including the French government, Technip FMC, Atlantic Towing, DOF, the many private companies who have dropped everything at a moment's notice and without hesitation, and the various crews who are dedicated to bringing the search and rescue mission to a successful conclusion. In addition to the Polar Prince, we have also mobilized the Horizon Arctic to add vessel support for this mission. We acknowledge and thank our client, ExxonMobil, who has without question given the vessel the time and space needed to respond to this incident. We also thank Premier Andrew Furey for his continuous offers of support from the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. The marine industry in this region is no stranger to responding to difficult incidents. We work together to ensure every possible effort is put into bringing people home. The people on board the Titan and their families are our focus. We care deeply about their well-being. All of us here in Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada, the United States, and around the world are unified in this work. While the United States Coast Guard, in cooperation with the Canadian Coast Guard, is leading this search and rescue effort, our critical role remains in a support capacity. It has been a very difficult few days for the crew and families of those on board the Titan and the Polar Prince. The Polar Prince captain and crew have been steadfast in providing support during this very difficult time. We have been supporting the Titanic expeditions for several years. The Polar Prince, a 72-meter vessel, remains at the Titanic site participating in rescue efforts. The vessel is an iconic former Canadian Coast Guard icebreaker that has been upgraded with advanced technology and provides research and expedition support services to clients, primarily in the Arctic. Mi'kmaq Horizon purchased the Polar Prince in 2021. The Horizon Arctic is also involved in this mission. The 94-meter vessel is one of the most powerful and versatile offshore support vessels in the world. Often working internationally, this Canadian flagged vessel has recently performed rig moves, offshore wind infrastructure installations, and seabed surveys before returning to Newfoundland and Labrador for a seasonal project this summer. The Horizon Arctic was en route to the site on Sunday and then returned to port in St. John's to pick up deep water equipment. Late last night, the Arctic crew loaded a U.S. ROV, which, thanks to the U.S. military, arrived by air to St. John's Airport late yesterday. The vessel departed the port of St. John's at 5 a.m. this morning and will arrive at the Titanic site tomorrow morning. We are very aware of the time sensitivity around this mission. Our crews and onshore team are experts in their fields and will continue to support this effort in every way we can. We remain focused on contributing to the search for the Titan crew and continue to hold out hope that they will be located and brought home safely. Chief Joe.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you all for being here too as well. My name is Chief Mizell Joe. I'm from the Mi'kmaq First Nation on the south coast of Newfoundland. And I can tell you that our people are very concerned for the crew of the Titan. We're proud of the Polar Prince, its crew, and work that it does. This remarkable vessel. So we have no doubt that the captain and crew have been handling themselves with utmost expertise and professionalism throughout this difficult time. Also want to thank Sean and the support team here at Horizon for all they're doing to support the search and rescue operations. I've been in constant contact with the operation team of the company and have been reaching out to prayer groups across the country to bring hope to this effort. We are praying for our friends on board the Titan Submersible. We want them to come home. We want them to come home. And we want them to come home safely. We ask everyone across Canada and the world to pray with us that we can find and rescue the Titan. Thank you. Walalio.
tell us whether the polar prince has picked up any sign of life? I know they're doing sonar scanning as well. We've heard about the banging noises that the sirens picked up. Has the polar prince heard anything? Do you have any sense from your technology?
So the U.S. Coast Guard's leading the search and rescue effort, as you know. We're taking our direction from them, and all the communications are flowing back through them. They had a fairly in-depth conference about an hour and a half ago, I think, and they've covered all that, so we have nothing further to add.
What does it say about the conditions out? What does your crew say about the conditions out there? How difficult is it to operate? Are they going to stay indefinitely?
The North Atlantic is always a challenging place, especially in the region that we're in. The weather is not overly significant at this point, but it always presents a challenge in the region.
Ocean Gate, given some
The Polar Prince lost contact with the submersible on Sunday morning. Be realistic. How optimistic are you that you will find the submersible and rescue the men from it?
The equipment that's been mobilized for this is the finest in the world, the most capable in the world. We have to hold out hope. I think, as you're aware, there's still life support available on the submersible, and we'll continue to hold out hope until the very end.
how much life support is it?
That you had communications after the dive began, after an hour and 45 minutes after you lost connection. Can you say anything about what, if any, communications you had when the dive started, and that period of time that we don't have any information until authorities were made aware that the vessel had missed its arrival time to the surface?
All I can tell you there is all protocols were followed for the mission.
Sean, some technical details from the Coast Guard about what's going on. Can you tell us about your staff on the ship? What are they telling you? What is it like out there? What's the mood on the ship? Any of that you can provide us?
These are extremely professional and experienced crews. This is an unprecedented situation, but I can assure you that they're handling their responsibilities very professionally and fully focused on trying to find the submersible and bring those people back safely.
Did any family members
like?
go
What are
out
the
on the
conditions
vessel?
like,
Have any
Sean?
family members gone out on the vessel?
Sorry, we've got some questions. Are the families aboard the vessels right now during the search and rescue operation? Can you tell us a bit about that?
That's a question I can't answer.
What support are you giving them?
The U.S. Coast Guard's leading the search and rescue effort, and all of that's being funneled through U.S. Coast Guard.
Sean, Horizon Maritime does a lot of different things in the world. This is one of them. But I take it this community, this exploration, it sounds like they're colleagues. They've been here for many years. They're friends. They're family to you guys. What is that? You do a lot of things, but what is this situation like?
Yeah. Core values of Miabukek Horizon Maritime Services and Horizon Maritime Services is customer focus, and we're focused on all our customers and all the various missions we operate and making sure that they're carried out with the utmost safety.
How many trips have you done with Ocean Gate? And did you have?
Is there anything out there that's capable of lifting this thing up from the depths that it's presumed to be and bringing it back to the surface?
There's a lot of variability around the question you're asking there, but the equipment that is on site and coming to site is the most capable of the world, and some of that equipment is certainly capable of reaching those depths.
How much time do you think there's left to be able to, if you were to have success, how much oxygen is left? How much time is there left to be able to actually keep these people alive and get them out alive?
There's variability around that question as well, Patrick. It's difficult for me to give you any more detail than the U.S. Coast Guard's already provided in their briefings.
Can you say exactly what time your vessel, the Polar Prince, launched the Titan? Exactly, specifically what time Sunday morning?
I don't have that off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Can you tell us about the sense of urgency last night with getting the gear off the aircraft, down here with the police escort and onto the ship and out of here? Can you talk us through that with people who are working?
Yeah, I've been in the marine industry since a very young age and seen a lot of different situations, and I've never seen equipment of that nature move that quickly. The response from the U.S. Coast Guard, the U.S. military, the folks at the airport, the people here, various companies were involved in the mobilization of that equipment to the Arctic. It was done flawlessly.
Can you give us more details about what kind of equipment that was?
It's a deepwater ROV.
And can you tell us how long will the Polar Prince stay out in that search area? The crew that was, I guess, expected to only be out there for 8 days or so.
How long can it stay out?
How long will it stay out during the search effort?
it'll stay out until the search is completed.
Sean, can you talk about what, if any, communication the Polar Prince and the vessel had before it missed the timeline that it was supposed to be before surfacing at the sea level? What, if any, communication did the Polar Prince have with the vessel before they knew it was missing?
There was regular communications up until a point, and then I think, as you're aware, their communication ceased.
Can you just expand on what regular means? Was the crew doing well? Was everything going as planned? Was there any moment where they communicated that they were in any sort of distress or having any sort of issues?
I'm not aware of any details around that.
And at what point did communication
Right
cease?
now, but there's been a lot of concerns raised already about the safety of this and what Ocean Gate was doing. Did you consider that when you partnered with Ocean Gate?
Look, I mean, Ocean Gate runs an extremely safe operation. Our full focus right now is getting that submersible located and getting those people brought back safely.
At what point did communication cease?
When they were diving to the Titanic at some point during that.
But do you have a timeline on that specifically?
There is a
When you
timeline.
lost
I
communication?
don't have it on the top of my head now. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Just how often are you in contact with the crew, with the Polar Prince, and what kind of information are you getting?
We're in constant contact with the crew of the Polar Prince. Our emergency procedures kicked in immediately. Our emergency room next door is staffed 24/7 with a group of extremely capable people, and there's live communication with the
How many
vessel at
crew
all
are
times.
aboard out there on your ship? How many crew?
We've got 17 crew on board the ship. That's it. Thanks.
Why did it take so long for the emergency?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gotta go.
Thanks, Sean.
70 or 17?
17.
Mind if I get the
No, that's fine. That's fine. Kathy Dornan.
DORNIN?
NAN.